So it's 5 o'clock on Friday night. We're due to be at Winton tomorrow to shake these cars down, and the guys have done some incredible hours here, but as you can see, this is Rick's car, brand new one. There's quite a lot of work to do. So the last few nights, well, the last few weeks, the guys have really pushed on and had a lot of late ones. As this sits, you can see there's still quite a lot of work to do to finish this car, and about an hour ago we actually pulled the pin on trying to get both cars ready for the shakedown. It's got to the point now where everyone's pushed as hard as they can, but it's just not achievable, and if we press on through the night to try and finish this, you're really not in the right frame of mind to be finishing the build of a brand new car. So this car will stay back at work with half the crew, and they'll make sure that everything's absolutely perfect over the next few days. It will go in the truck and head to Tailem Bend on Tuesday and have its very first outing on Tuesday at Tailem Bend. Andre's car, on the other hand, has just got the engine back from the dyno. All the stickers are looking unreal. We've had Rick on the tools here putting a few stickers on for us. First engine we took up to Queensland to get homologated, so that process has been done. This is actually the second engine, and we've just pulled the third engine off the dyno, ready to go in Rick's car. So the whole process went really well. This has done quite a lot of work now, or the one in Queensland has on the dyno, and it's ran faultlessly. We've not had a single issue with it. The power is actually pretty good for our very first attempt. At the end of the day, we've only had 3 odd months to get this engine built and developed to this point, and we're quite happy with the way it's come up. There's certainly going to be some R&D and a little bit more work to tidy things up. One of the big ones from here is we didn't actually have time to lighten all the cylinder heads and the engine block before we built these engines. So once we're up and running, we'll try and go back and re-homologate the engine in the next month or two and lighten the blocks, lighten the cylinder heads, and tweak a couple of little things to try and get a little bit more power out of it. It's certainly good enough to hit the track and go racing competitively, and you can see the main man's back on the tools there putting a few stickers on, and another big night tonight still to get this done, and hopefully we'll hit the track tomorrow and verify all of the systems we haven't been able to check so far, which is the car cooling system, the power steering system, the oil system. All of those things we'll actually test on the track, and if we at least get one car there, we can react and make any updates that's required for Rick's car. But we're certainly starting to push it now for time. There's not a lot of time left to get these things finished and on the track. Well, we've finally made it to Winton Raceway for our new car shakedown. I see Ford have put on a sign for us, probably not for us at the entry, but what a hell of a ride to get to here. We've only got one car in the back of the truck, which is Andre's car, and unfortunately Andre's in New Zealand, so Rick will get the honours of christening his car for him here at Winton. It's actually Sunday of race week, and most of the crew are back at work trying to finish Rick's car. It's been pretty hectic back there with all the wiring and the final touches to that car. Phil, our normal truck driver, is there loading the race transporter, so I've got driving duties in the truck today. The truck's actually supposed to be leaving probably late tonight or in the early hours of tomorrow morning to get up to Tailem Bend for the official Supercar test day. So it's crunch time now. If anything goes wrong today, we're going to have a pretty big night tonight, and we probably still will, just to get Rick's car finished. So it's a really nice day here at Winton. The track's dry, so hopefully it's a good one and the car runs well for us. We're not far away now. The guys have warmed the car up. We've just made a few small adjustments to the manifold just to try and get the idle down a little bit more. Rick's about to hop in for the first time in a Mustang at a racetrack, and we're about to roll it out, so stand by. I'm sure I'll wake up in a minute and the cars won't be finished and we'll be back 2 days. I spent so much time with this engine on the dyno that until today, we really don't know what it's created, like one how it's going to run on the track, but just the little things like how it sounds on the pit limit, how it sounds going past, and just idling the garage and all sorts.
The things I'm picking up are things like the fact that this throttle throws a bit longer than what I'm used to, and all the little
stuff. Is it? We're actually almost finished the test, and unbelievably, with the amount of new parts and untested components, the car has ran absolutely faultlessly, which is incredible, and a huge credit to everyone involved. So this isn't actually classed as one of our official test days. This is what's called a new car shakedown, so we're only allowed to do 20 laps, and there's a Supercars official here that is watching the whole thing. We're not allowed to drive the car out onto the track until they give us permission, and then they count every single lap. So we've tried to get as much information as we can. The engine's running spot on. Rick's really happy with it. The car feels a little bit different to what he's used to with all the changes. And the last thing to do now is drop the car and simulate a pit box exit like we do in our pit stops at the track. Completely different engine to what Rick's used to, so different characteristics. Might need a little bit of a tune-up in the engine map just to get it to launch in that low RPM range, and then we'll go out and Rick will do a practice start out on the track to do the same thing, just to make sure everything feels normal and whether there's any fine-tuning with the map. But all in all, incredible effort by the crew, and I wish quietly that we have actually had a few things go wrong, because this just seems too good to be true with the amount of new parts. But what an awesome day.
Well, that's the shakedown done for Car 7, Kelly Racing's very first Ford Mustang, and pretty exciting day for everyone. Obviously they've worked tirelessly to get the car on the track, but the biggest thing as well is building an engine from the ground up. When you come and test it for the first time at the track, you can have all sorts of little issues, teething issues that you won't see on a dyno, like the drivability out of the second gear corners with the different throttle application and all those little things that you need to come and test. And today the engine's performed faultlessly the entire time, and I really tried to put it through its paces, from everything from a grid box drop on the pit lane limiter to a race start we've tried, and all the second gear corners here at Winton and so on. So I think that's really impressive, and massive thanks and well done to everyone on that side of the business who's designed, developed and created an engine in that really critical time frame. So I'm a lot more confident than we were a few hours before we did the shakedown. The car build as well has gone together really well. There's no big issues on the track. In fact, there's really been no issues at all. So well done to those guys. So just pretty keen from my point of view to jump in the Castrol car now and see what that feels like.
Well, that could not have gone better. It's an amazing achievement to have built a car and an engine like that and have it perform so well in the time frame. But we're not quite there. We're actually only halfway there because we still only have one car. So it's 3 o'clock now on Sunday, and we need to get this car back to the shop and just finish the last few things, check the engine over, have a good look at the filters and pull the rocker covers off, but more importantly finish Rick's car. So we need all hands on deck back at the shop, and hopefully we can get that one sorted and in the truck for Adelaide.
Dead.